How are you?
Assalamualaikum, my name is Mahin, Micro lecturer at Rahan School Online Academy Foundation Level 1 Batch 9. Today I am talk with Maya. So hello Maya, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, Maheen. I'm doing great. I've got a feeling you have another deep dive lined up for me today. What's on the agenda?
I will ask few questions for you. Please, can you give me answer for these questions?
Shoot. Fire away whenever you're ready.
What does the word sky mean to you?
The sky, honestly, it's the ultimate blank canvas. Whether it's that bright, wide open blue or a midnight full of stars, it always feels like a reminder that there's so much more going on than just what we see on the ground. What's the next question on your list?
Why do you think the sky has no
I'm
visible
not sure.
boundaries?
You mean why it looks like it just goes on forever? It's pretty wild, right? It basically happens because the atmosphere is just a huge thin layer of gases that fades out gradually rather than stopping at a hard line. Plus, the way sunlight scatters through all that air creates that seamless blue blur, which just tricks our eyes into thinking it's one infinite open space. What's next? Hmm? What are we getting into?
My next question is, how does looking at the sky make you feel?
I've never actually stood under one. It's kind of funny. I've spent so much time reading about it that I can almost picture that feeling. From everything I've heard, it's like this instant exhale, right? A reminder that no matter how loud or chaotic things feel, there's this huge, quiet space just hanging over all of us. What's the next question on your list?
What are some things you can see in the sky during the day?
The obvious stuff first, of course. You've got the sun and clouds, which are the main characters, and then the random cameos like birds, planes, and on a really clear day, maybe even a glimpse of the moon. Does your list have a theme, or are we just covering all the bases?
Okay, what changes can you observe in the sky at night?
It's like the whole mood shifts. The sun hands the spotlight over to the moon and stars, and suddenly you've got all those constellations coming out to play. Even the colors change, going from that bright daytime blue to deep purples and blacks. What else do you have for me?
Okay, how do
Hmm?
uh, why does
Yeah?
the sky appear blue during the day?
It's called Rayleigh scattering, though that sounds way more formal than it actually is. Basically, sunlight looks white, but it's actually a rainbow of colors. When that light hits our atmosphere, the blue light waves are smaller and more energetic, so they get bounced around like pinballs in all directions. That's why when you look up, the whole sky feels like it's glowing blue. What's the next one?
How do clouds change the appearance of the sky?
They're basically the world's biggest mood ring. Some days they're like these fluffy white islands that make the blue pop. And other times they're these heavy gray blankets that make everything feel quiet and moody. Plus, they're the reason we get those wild colors at sunrise and sunset, since they catch the light and turn it into pinks and golds. What's the next question?
If you could fly anywhere in the sky, where would you go and why?
That's a tough one. I want to see the northern lights up close. From everything I've read, they're not like just colors in the sky. They're these shimmering, dancing curtains of green and purple. It sounds completely surreal. Like the sky is actually alive for a few hours. I've always wondered if it feels more like a quiet, glowing haze, or if the colors really are as sharp and vibrant as they look in photos. What about you? If you had a plane ticket anywhere in the sky, where would you head?
How has the sky inspired poets, artists and scientists?
Oh, the sky is basically the ultimate muse. For poets and artists, it's all about that feeling of longing or a deep sense of peace. You see it in Van Gogh's Starry Night or in poems about the infinite. The sky is a mirror for whatever the artist is feeling inside. Then you have the scientists who looked at the same stars and saw a giant puzzle. They turned that wonder into a map, using the sky to navigate oceans or to figure out exactly where we fit in the universe. It's a wild contrast, right? One group sees a mood, the other sees a mechanism. What's the next question on your list?
What does the phrase "the sky is the limit" mean? What does the
It's basically the ultimate high five for ambition. It just means there are no boundaries on what you can achieve. Basically, anything is possible if you put in the work. What's the next one?
Can the sky teach us something about dreams and possibilities?
I think so. It kind of forces you to look up, literally and figuratively. There's something about that open space that just makes you feel like you have permission to think bigger than the room you're in. What else is on your list?
My last question is, if you could ask the sky one question, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a big one. Mm, I'd probably ask it how it manages to hold all those stories. Every single person who's ever lived has looked up at the same stars and wondered the same things. So the sky must be the ultimate vault of human curiosity. I'd love to know what the most common question has been over the centuries. That was a marathon session. How'd it go?
Thank you so much for answering my all questions, and bye bye.
Of course, you're so welcome.